we certainly haven't got there. We're not battle tested this year yet. We're not by any stretch. We haven't made the progress that we need to make to be where we want to be. But we're on that road, and I think that what changes that momentum of getting better every day and all that kind of stuff is going to be how well we can stay healthy, how well we can develop the depth of the guys that are behind the guys that are starters, because ultimately through 12, 14 games of the season, I don't know if I've ever had 5 guys play those every game of the season. So the guys that are behind the starters are going to be the ones that are going to be responsible for how successful we are all season long. And if we can continue to develop those young players and they can produce like we need them to, then we can stay committed to a certain level of excellence.
Was the line scarred at all by the way last season ended? You have to kind of build them up.
I sense the whole team is. I think the whole team had so much on the table, and to lose the Clemson game the way that happened would hurt anyone, and certainly these guys that have got so much invested in this program. And to recover from that was a difficult thing, and I think that had impact into the next couple of games, just looking at it from outside coming in. And so all of us realized that there's a lot to be done, a lot that was left on the table, but likewise there was a taste of what it could be and how far this program has come. And a lot of things have been said and written about the way the season finished, but coming in from outside, I look at the first 3 quarters of that season and I'm amazed at what took place. It was incredible to see things happen the way they did. This offensive line played really well through a lot of the season, and I think it's too easy to put a blanket over the whole season because of the last couple of games and say it was all bad, because it wasn't. And I think for us to assume that it's all going to be fixed right away it is not realistic either. We're on a building. College football and offensive line football is about developing players. And we're on that path to developing our football team, and every day at practice we're developing players to make them better and better. And I think that we're making progress in that area.
Is there an advantage for you having been on the outside looking in and then getting in? Because the other guys may have been here. Is there a fresh take, for lack of a better term?
I think so. I think that would be true regardless of whenever there's different coaches. I think there's always a different. I do things differently than everybody else does them, and that would be true for the next guy that comes in. And the way that I coach and the experience that I have, I'm not a big yell and scream guy. What I think is the most important part of what I do as a coach is I build a trust relationship with the players that I coach, and it's through that trust relationship that they believe what they're being told, and they develop a passion to say that I want to do it just like he's telling me to do it. So if I do a good enough job of building and strengthening that relationship, then their commitment level to doing things the way that I want them to be done is just that much better and that much deeper. Football is it's a game of commitment. It's a game that you have to be all in, and you don't put your toe in the water to see how cold the swimming pool is. You have to jump in the deep end and you have to start swimming, and that's what these guys have decided to do. I've been so pleased with their attitude and their response to me being here and them being coached the way that I coach them, that I've just got a lot of respect for the kids.
Are you happy with? I'm sorry. Are you happy with the size they are physically, like just in stature?
I think that they are a very good-looking offensive line, right? And we've got a very big team, and certainly with Mekhi Becton, the freshman coming in from Virginia, at 6'7", 350. I'll make him feel good at 350. They're a very big offensive line, and so now but offensive line is not necessarily about size. Okay, you can go all over the country and you can find great big guys. They're everywhere. What the offensive line is about can you move your feet and can you stay connected? Can you hit a landmark? Okay, because it's about leverage and it's about athletic ability. So just to be big and slow and not flexible does not allow you to create movement at the line of scrimmage or to stay connected when you're in pass rush. I think we're an athletic offensive line too. I think Jaron Christian and Case McNeil have got great feet. Becton, for his size, is unbelievably athletic. Kenny Thomas is the same way. They've all got good footwork. They can move their feet. They can play in space. And so as we move forward and our knowledge of defensive football increases, in the NFL we had this sheet on our evaluation forms that said FBI. It's called football instinct. As we develop that football instinct so that we know what to do when we're presented with a different surface to block, okay? We're not going to be able to prepare for every defensive front that comes up. So they have to now rely on their instincts about offensive line movement. We have to understand about gap exchange, okay? When one guy leaves a gap, somebody's going to fill a gap. Well, until you've had enough reps and enough turns to have that feel that I know this guy left, so I'm going to stay because someone else is coming. That way I don't chase out of a gap. It's hard to teach that. You have to have rep after rep. And oh, by the way, that happens in about 2 or 3 seconds with a guy in front of me that can bench press 400 pounds. So it's an incredibly tough job that I have a lot of respect for the guys that do that. And as we continue to progress, we'll see them grow closer and closer together.
It seems like Lamar's unpredictability is a real asset for him. But does that complicate the offensive line's job when maybe you're not sure he's not in the pocket? Where do I take this guy?
Yeah, I think there's something to that. When Coach Petrino and I first got to Atlanta, and Michael Vick was there through 3 of our mini camps that we had. One of the things that a huge emphasis was put on while we were there was his launch points on our drop back passing game, so that the tackles understood what they were trying to protect. And Lamar has done an incredible job of being able to avoid rushes and escape and make huge plays, and that's a big part of his game. But also the launch points being consistent is a big part of the guys up front as well. And so all of us, sacks always fall in the offensive line, but it's receivers getting open on time. It's quarterbacks putting us in the correct protection. It's the running backs holding up their end of it. And so, pass protection is an 11-man job, and certainly the offensive line are the lead guys in that, and we have to win our one-on-one battles. But all of us, and Coach Petrino coaches this every day at practice, all 11 guys are responsible for pass protection.
How in sync is the offensive line with Lamar currently?
In sync?
Yeah,
I think there's a great relationship there, and all of us, right now when you go through training camp, it's like taking out a machete and hacking your way through the forest. We're just trying to get to the end of the forest right now, and we're trying to get there with all of us together. And so we're leading the way, and he's right in there with us, and we're all pushing each other and trying to make each other better.
Coach, you've had the privilege of being at several major programs in Atlanta, like you said earlier, experiencing new groups of guys. How is this foundation of this offensive line compared to the others you've experienced for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, they're all different. Everybody's at a different level of development when you arrive, and I don't really look at that. Certainly these guys have been coached really well. They're technically sound, and so the only advantage that I had coming in here is that I've been in this offense before. Whereas other programs, when you join that program, now all the words mean something different than you've learned them at the previous place. And I was fortunate to come here and jump right into the terminology. And Coach Petrino's offense it's not a first-grade offense, okay? And so I have been through this before, and certainly they've added to it and done a lot since I've been away. But the basics of the offense I understand, and that's made it easier for me.
Coach, we've had size and we've had ability here at Louisville on the offensive line, but at times I feel like they've lacked that intensity or that nastiness that an offensive line needs to really go out and just hit somebody in the mouth. Can you teach that, or how do you instill that, or what do you do to instill that in the kids to go out and do that every night, to perform every night?
Well, I don't have hitting them in the mouth as one of my landmarks, but obviously the toughness part of football manifests itself in the offense and defensive line. Okay, there's a collision on every single play, and those collisions happen, and there's about a 12-inch, sometimes less when the defense lines up all sides, but a 12-inch neutral zone between the two of us, and we get a chance to go capture that neutral zone and come off the ball and drive our feet to try and reestablish the line of scrimmage. Football, the way it is today, there's certain plays that are designed to come off and move the line of scrimmage. Other plays are designed to zone the line of scrimmage and create gaps instead of movement. So when you start talking about physical play, what it means to me is it means correct pad level, correct landmarks, and finish. And so I take, can you go hit him in the mouth and reduce it down to how am I going to go get to my guy consistently and be in the right position to have power. And I think that's what we're trying to do right now.
Coach, Cole Bentley's an in-state kid that was able to get here a little bit